If Karina doesn't like conflict so much, she should shut her fucking mouth. MAFS Australia, Wednesday the 12th of March, episode 28. I know there's a lot going on with Dave and Jamie right now, but let's cover these two first. During the couple swap, Paul wrote a letter to Athena talking about the issues that he had with Karina, and in that letter he totally threw Karina under the bus. There's no denying it. In that letter he said that he thinks Karina comes across as a bit of a snob, she's judgmental, and when she found out that he used to date Athena's sister, she says, "Oh, I didn't realise you dated that calibre of woman." Now, we all know that he could have gave her 1,000 other examples of why he thought she was judgmental, but he chose that, and it was out of order, because she went to him thinking that he was like a safe space and that she could talk to him about anything. And even though I don't like her, I think that it was out of order that he told Athena that. When they were at the dinner party, she says that she had to talk to Athena and she wanted to kind of clear the air and apologise. But when they were all sitting there, she was like, "Oh, I went to church and I was praying. Praying that Athena doesn't kick your fucking ass." Athena was being so nice to her. She's like, "Oh, is that the first time you've been since the experiment? Oh, I'm so fucking holier than thou. I've been in the experiment for 2 months and I've only went to pray when I think I'm going to get my fucking ass kicked." So she took Athena to the side to have a chat, and Paul was sitting there at the time, and Athena was like, "Oh, can we have this chat like on our own?" Fair enough, because there was literally no need for him to be sitting there. So Karina apologised and she says, "I did it out of jealousy or whatever," and she just accepted it. And I know that people don't really like conflict or whatever, but I think that she let her off way too easily. Ada says, "You might have said it out of jealousy, but if we're being honest, you've got an absolute cheek to talk about her tattoos when you've got tattoos, to talk about her being a different calibre when she doesn't work for a family business and she's got her own house and she doesn't live with her parents. Now, there's nothing wrong with living with your parents, right? But if you're going to be slagging somebody, maybe look at yourself before you talk about other people." Karina acting all innocent in that voice that she does my fucking head in. When her and Paul were speaking, she was saying, "I told you that, I thought that you were in my safe place, I thought that you could be trusted." And then he's like, "Oh, that's on you." No, mate, it's on you. You shouldn't have told Athena that. I'm sure he said plenty of things about other brides and grooms that she could just reveal at the dinner party. So Jamie enters the dinner party on her own and she's standing talking to herself. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, why is she talking to herself like that?" But they're told to do that. Like when they go into Big Brother as well, when they first walk in, you'll hear them going, "Oh, I hope I don't fall. Oh, I wonder who's going to come in. Oh, I love the wallpaper," or whatever. That's because they don't want to air silence. They're telling them to talk so that they've got something to show. It's just unfortunate for her that she showed up on her own first, and they probably did that deliberately to make it more dramatic. So it's like, oh my god, she's so alone. She's got no partner, she's got no friends. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they scheduled when they arrive. Athena and Adrian come in, and she's explaining everything that's happened, and then the next couple come in and she's explaining it again. She probably would have been better off just waiting until they were all at the dinner table. So just to add to the dramatics, Dave enters last. Of course he does. By this time they've all been chatting about it behind his back, and obviously he's going to be late. They definitely schedule these arrivals. So as they're asking Dave questions, he's totally like, no emotion. And Dave is obviously an avoidant. An avoidant can show you all the love, they can love bomb you, they can show you everything that they want to show you, and then all of a sudden it just goes for like 100 to 0. And nobody understands it. A lot of people are speculating that him and Veronica went with each other when she was staying there, but I actually don't think that they did. There's also rumours right now that he's currently with Karina, but on a podcast he says that wasn't true. Ugh, I would be appalled if he was with Karina. The experts are sitting there and they're saying, "Oh, he's not showing any emotion or anything." Now, they're supposed to be experts, right? And the only thing that they ever really say is, "Oh, he's gaslighting her," or whatever. But they never talk about personality disorders. They never say, "Oh, this person is a narcissist." They never say, "Oh, he's an avoidant." They never say anything like that. And surely that's their job to point these things out. Maybe legally they're not allowed to sit there and actually assess people, but they should be allowed to say, "Oh, he's coming across as an avoidant," or "He's coming across as if he's got a personality disorder." Surely they're allowed to say that. Poor Jamie's sitting there breaking her heart, and he's just sitting there like, doesn't give a fuck. And it's one thing that I can't stand, see people that just shut off. They don't give you anything, they don't speak to you, they don't tell you how they're feeling, They don't communicate with you. It's so fucking annoying. Now, well, Dave comes across as such a nice guy, and I do think that he is genuinely a nice guy, but when you're dealing with an avoidant, it's like, it's so difficult. I've done it myself for many years. It's just so difficult to try and even get a conversation out of somebody. And Jamie's obviously like me, and she just expresses how she feels. Now, apparently Dave applied for F-Boy Island, and people are trying to speculate, like, was he an F-Boy or was he a nice guy? And even though this has happened, I do still think that he went on there as a nice guy, but he's making it more difficult to think that as this episode was going on. Jeff was talking about the letter that Jackie wrote Ryan, and he says if that was my relationship, it would be over. Like, she's saying all this negative stuff, it was like 3 pages, and then they come in together as if they're strong. Like, I don't understand it. The only thing that they two care about is looking as if they're on top. I've mentioned this before, but a couple of weeks ago, Jackie posted a video on TikTok saying everybody's on there for clout, they're on there for followers or whatever, and she's the one who's posting the most videos. She also posted a video the other day, and it was like, this is what it's like at the dinner party. Like, they separate everybody. Sometimes you're there till 3 a.m. while they're showing the experts like clips or whatever it is. And she says that you've got to sit there and you're not allowed a phone. So she went in there with hidden cameras. Say it was a hidden phone or a hidden like handheld camera or whatever. She went in there knowing that they weren't allowed to film, and she still filmed it anyway. She went in there deliberately knowing that she was going to be breaking the contracts for day one. Now, I have seen other people's videos on TikTok for past seasons saying that they left the show and the show couldn't sue them because of what happened, and there's this lassie basically saying that she was essayed on the show and the show paid for her counselling, they didn't sue her, like they supported all this other stuff that she was doing because she was going to come forward, and she tried to make a class action lawsuit against them, and now she's trying to join theirs. But to me, Jackie went in there knowing that she was going to break this contract. That doesn't excuse all the things that the show's allowed to happen. Obviously, with Paul punching the door and then them not removing him for the show was bad enough. But we've seen year after year the men manipulating the women. I know the women do it as well, but like emotionally and mentally manipulating them. And it's abusive, and they allow it to happen just for the drama. If Elliot and Veronica don't both choose to leave on Sunday, then I don't even know what show I've been watching. Athena and Adrian are totally confusing me. I don't understand why she just forgave Karina so easily. Adrian says to Dave, do you think that you're feeling this way because Veronica's more your type? And then Dave wasn't happy and said that Adrian was being snaky. And I don't even like Adrian, but I think he was just asking the questions that needed to be answered. And when he was paired up with Jamie and she was asking him questions, I don't think that he was really being nasty. I think that he was just being honest. But let me know what you thought of the dinner party. Do you think that Jamie and Dave will still be there? I think they'll probably leave. But I'll see you again for the commitment ceremony. Bye!